Well, we've had a great summer break, but it's time now to focus on the racing. We've had the Belgian Grand Prix, we'll be reviewing that, as well as looking ahead to this weekend's Italian Grand Prix. This is the Lewis Round F1 Update. So after a 5-week break, F1 were back in racing last weekend at the Spa circuit for the Belgian Grand Prix, and Jenson Button won a brilliant race start to finish. He was the first driver this year, in fact, to lead every single lap of the race from start to finish. So well done to Jenson Button, his second win of the season. Still quite a way back from Fernando Alonso, but at least it's given him a chance with 8 races to go now and one more European race this weekend. But Sebastian Vettel cut the championship lead, and I'll tell you why in just a sec. With a great performance from 11th on the grid to finish second, his one-stop strategy worked out perfectly, and the Red Bull had good race pace. And again, Kimi Räikkönen was on the podium, this time 3rd place. Not what he wanted. He was big favourite for the win at Spa. Him and Michael Schumacher are the most successful drivers at this circuit who still race in Formula 1, 4 apiece. And he's done a fantastic job for Lotus, but still yet to get that first win. But the Belgian Grand Prix was also tinged with a bit of shock and relief, really. The start of the race saw 2 championship runners out straight away in Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton, all down to the fault really of one man, and that is Romain Grosjean. Now Grosjean, he's had a great season so far, but is susceptible to start accidents. He's been involved in 7 so far this year, and this time, not all of them have been his fault, but this time was definitely he was in the wrong, and he went across to the inside. I don't think he was there to actually block Hamilton. People said they reckon he was trying to block Hamilton. I think he truly felt he had room to go outside and get to the inside and make up some positions in that corner, and he puts too much pressure on himself from the start to gain as many positions as he possibly can, and he got himself to the inside, which I think he was going to do anyway. And he said on the in the interview that he truly believed he was already ahead of Hamilton. Of course he wasn't. They made contact, Hamilton lost the back, he lost control, and then just pushed Grosjean into Fernando Alonso. First Perez went over the top of Perez, and then went right over the top of Alonso. Probably half a metre, not even that, away from his helmet, his face, and very lucky as well, because that would have ended in disaster, I'm sure, if that was to happen. And in the end, it got rid of both Sauber's. Kobayashi was able to carry on, but was damaged heavily. But Perez was out of the race, and it just caused, in the end, ruined their race. But it could have been so much worse, and it meant that Alonso was out of the race for the first time this year, and it allowed Vettel, Jenson Button and Kimi Räikkönen to close in on the Ferrari man. But in the end it was down to Grosjean, and the stewards have been very harsh and have given him a 1-race ban, which means he won't be participating in the Italian Grand Prix. There has been a lot of aggressive driving in the last 5 years, progressing. You notice it especially in the junior ranks like GP3, GP2, and it's not healthy, and it's going to cause people, even though he's not out there to crash into people feel as though they're invincible and they try and do stupid things, and it didn't work for Grosjean. So I think they've taken the right, necessary act, the FIA, in banning him for next weekend. Which means Lotus are bringing in Jerome D'Ambrosio, who was part of the Marussia team last year, and he's a good driver, and I think because he's tested the car, although be it one day, at Mugello earlier this year, at least he knows how to drive the car, and he's already got a head start. He can go into practice not going through the precautions of what everything does. He's already done that, and he can sort of but he's still being put into the deep end, don't get me wrong, but at least he's got some running, and I think he'll do relatively well. I think he's a good driver, and it's a good chance for him to shine in this event, and it's a one-off, so no pressure really. But of course we have got the Italian Grand Prix this weekend. McLaren will be quick. Lotus, well, if they get their double DRS system together, who knows, they might be competitive again. Ferrari should be very quick as well. Red Bull, I think, will struggle. I think Sauber will be very quick in Monza. They seem to have a car very good with top speed, and very good mechanical balance on that car. And this track isn't about downforce, it's about getting good straight line speed, but also a car that handles well in the chicanes. And that's all down to traction and mechanical grip, how you optimise the tyres, and Sauber are very good at that. So I think Sauber will be extremely quick, but I think Red Bull will struggle. As I just said, they haven't got the blown diffuser that gave them the advantage of last year, and they're not the fastest car down a straight where you really need it. So their car just naturally seems to use a lot of drag, so I think they'll be more competitive in the race. They'll get decent points in the race, but in qualifying I think they'll really struggle. Well, that's it for this week's F1 update. I'll be back next week for more news, but until then, have a great week.